Vacation's over, son. Time to dust off that stoop, you know what I'm saying? It's finally here, 21-22. Premier League is back and we're back with the Stoop crew. Mark and Lolo on the stoop talking nonsense, not doing research, just talking from the conscience. James is back in action talking nothing but Leeds. Naji's running with the facts, being the villain that we need. Can't attack the German gunner and Liverpool Chris. Jazz rapping Man United, Lolo taking the piss. So sit back, don't relax and get your comments in, cause we're back on the stoop, so let the nonsense begin.
What is going on, football fans? It's your boy Lolo. I'm here with Mark.
What's up, kids?
And we are not quite on the stoop because we got some work being done on the stoop. So we are in our beautiful old school fucking yellow. I don't know if y'all have these kind of lawn chairs over in England.
I hear they go for like $50 each on eBay.
Nowadays they go like $50.
But they are indestructible, and they will live through nuclear war. This is what we will be sitting on after the Holocaust.
How are they gonna live? This is like
these
plastic.
things are indestructible. These things are older than me.
You know who's not indestructible?
Manchester City. Ooh.
Manchester City, not. They are quite destructible.
I think they self-destructed.
Oh my God, stupid Jason. What's going on? So, Stoop crew, good to see you guys in the house. I think I saw it today, and it was Jimmy Bremer's Ghost was the first comment up today. Cheers to you, Mark.
Cheers to Bremer.
Good to see we got Mr. Tom in here. We got Ben Ireland. We've even got Arsenal Fan Circle channel. And did you know I will be doing like a 2-hour-long podcast tonight? After working all day, after doing an hour-long show with these guys, after drinking 14 beers. I hope you're ready for this, Arsenal Fan Circle.
I am just hearing of this.
Do you think they're ready?
No. Yes. I mean, no.
I don't think they're ready.
Yes.
Look at that, Mr. Tom. Hello, Anders, Jimmy, Ben, Scott, Saul, Lolo, Mark, Director John, Kantak, Chris, James, Bobby, Queasy, Sleazy, Cheesy, Bumpy, Grumpy, Sleepy, Naji 2.0, David, and the
mighty Karen C.
The mighty Karen C.
Wow, well, that's a long list. Did you cut and paste that, or did you type that all out? Because it would take me the entire show.
No, he just looks up on his wall of people who he's had in the dungeon at one time or another.
All the people he's drafted.
And if you guys weren't with us on Happy Hour this past Friday, Anders has it right there for you. You missed it. What happens on the stoop stays on the stoop because YouTube decided it was too cool for school. And pulled the second and third hours of our show because our show went too many.
So our show was great until the final third. Huh?
What happened?
Huh? The final third? See what I did there?
Mark's actually smart enough about football these days to make football-based jokes that not all football fans would get.
That was a pun.
That was punny. Fantastic. Well, listen, so it's our Monday show, guys. So we're going to recap a wild week. I have to say, this is one of the most enjoyable weeks. There were some really awesome games. Even the first one, even Leeds Newcastle. I know we tore through that one on Friday. We covered it every which way and Sunday.
There's one angle we didn't cover, and we can talk about that when we get there.
Oh
yeah.
Do I know?
If you watch the match, you probably know.
That we didn't talk about on Friday. We talked for 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, well, it turns out that what I thought was just going to be a niggle injury to Mr. Ailing has turned out to be a little bigger than it, at least what I'm reading. It seems like he injured his knee pretty well.
Oh, damn. That sucks. Speaking of Leeds United, you know him, you love him, you hate him, because you thought I was going to say one person, but I didn't. It's Mr. Naji. Get in here, Naji.
Hey, guys.
How are you,
What's
brother?
going?
Good. Can't complain.
This week.
What awesome weekend, Can't complain.
Some weekend. Only three goals against a terrible Spurs team.
Well, when you buy a championship, you can go ahead and have it and choke on it. Spent $400 million in 2 years.
Timo Werner still can't score.
And Timo Werner still can't score. But he had a hell of an assist to Rudiger.
Yeah, big time.
Oh
big time assist,
Yeah, it was a good assist. But Lukaku was looking at him like,
Oh, on the one prior.
I do not know what
Yeah,
else to do,
yeah.
my friend.
Yeah. Lukaku was
Oh,
pissed that he
shit.
didn't get his.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was pissed Lukaku didn't get his
That's
because
'cause
I
you
forced
play
him onto
fantasy.
my fantasy team, but the rest of my fantasy team did great. Anyway, what happened to our fourth down there?
I don't
He
know
got
what
mad that I introduced Naji
he does
first.
have really spotty internet.
Yeah. Anyway, Naji, really great week. Really great week. Look at Ben, Arsenal soaring, pipe down.
Oh,
Hey,
Arsenal.
we were bottom of the
soaring.
table, and we're at what, 12 now?
You guys are like they're 12,
13?
13th, but still
That's soaring up the table.
soaring up the table. You know, I am so glad you paid Aubameyang all that money because he is just ripping it up. Absolutely ripping it up.
John, can we back up from this? Because I don't like being this close to him. There we go. I'm trying to stay a little separated. I know I like that view better, but we just have to lean in and like be a little lovey-dovey over here.
That's okay. I still love it.
So what's going on, Arsenal? Alex, haven't talked to you in a while, my friend.
The weather is gorgeous today.
weather-
This is perfect.
Look, I can't wait to dick Arsenal this season. A dick in the Arsenal. Wait, that shouldn't be a good song. That shouldn't be a
No.
song I sing. That should. Anyway,
And it
fellas.
also sounds like it should be a lot more evil.
Adriano, good to see you, my friend.
Hey, what's up, Adriano?
Okay, let's get to the show. So let's start first match of the week. That was Leeds United Newcastle. I know we talked about this one ad nauseum, but Naji, we haven't heard from you, Mr. 55. What's going on?
It was a good game, you know. I mean, I had the game. I had Newcastle winning because they were playing at home. They convinced me against Man United. We are still seeing the same issues with Leeds since the beginning of the season. Calvin Phillips need help in the midfield. He is by himself right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys realized, but I think that Bielsa is changing the formation here week after week. He's also changing the personnel. He's playing with Rodrigo. Sometimes he's not playing with Rodrigo. And Meslier, it was a great game. Meslier saved a lot of chances, but also Darlow did a great game for Newcastle.
I was gonna say, don't you talk shit about Meslier.
Yeah, he was fabulous.
Kind of the only reason Leeds have any points this season.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I thought his arms were gonna rip off. He was the way that Saint Maximin was firing those shots at him, and just like it's.
Right.
He's got to be wearing those.
Stopping him. And I swear to God, he's still icing his hands.
He's got to be wearing like those rollerblade arm pads. That
for
you wear,
the skaters that go like
wrist.
50 miles. They do like the Grand Prix for skaters. And they throw their arm out.
No, but it's something to be said of like why keep forcing Rodrigo in behind Bamford? Rodrigo doesn't play that well in that position. He's more of a striker, and Bamford doesn't utilize that. Wouldn't that position be better suited to add someone for Calvin Phillips?
And here's the thing for me, it's like all this criticism on Rodrigo about how he doesn't fit in. You know what it is? He doesn't fit in with Bamford. What if you took Bamford off and put Rodrigo on Bamford's spot?
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
He's got to do it one game. He's got to try it.
Why not
He's
try
got to try it.
Why not try
That was the whole reason they bought Rodrigo, was because they didn't think Bamford would be good. Now, guys, there's breaking news that we have to get to. I don't know if you saw this, but in the news, it's listed right here. He's injured, and it looks like he's out for the week. Ben, Arizona Leeds, he's injured and in the doghouse because he drunkenly fell into and broke the laundry baskets along with spraining my ankle. The missus isn't happy. So one of our main players is out this week because he injured himself in a very
I'm trying to figure it all out because I'm injured and in the doghouse, drunkenly fell and broke. And I'm like, you broke what? And then I read down ankle and I'm like, you broke his ankle?
No, he fell into the laundry baskets and broke them all. And
what were they made out of?
How did you sprain your ankle?
How do you break a laundry basket?
That's the Stoop crew. I love you guys. And I do feel bad about that.
How many points is it going to cost me to transfer him out of my fantasy team?
Oh, the fantasy Stoop crew. You had he was going to triple captain Ben Arizona. Sorry about that, man. But I do think that's hilarious. That's a very Lawler way to get injured, I would say. Could be worse, Ben. You could have urinated in the basket first.
That's a move my brother would make.
Okay, fellas.
Notorious for pissing in the closet.
As you know, we have 10 games to get through, and we only have 60 minutes to do it, and only 50 minutes left. So that's going to be it for Leeds United. Because if you want more Leeds United talk,
just watch our show.
Go back to happy hour.
I did the best I could. We talked about them all the way through.
I stand by my assessment that Newcastle will be the best worst team this season. They are going to be they're going to continue to look like they should win games and lose them.
No. The best worst team is in the NFL. It's the Minnesota Vikings, who have lost 2 matches in the last play of the game.
Don't talk about the Vikings right now. You know,
they're terrible.
That's a whole different show.
Yeah,
it's on the poop.
Hey, all 3 of our football teams lost, so that's a good
what
thing.
happened to them?
We had 8 coaches out with COVID. And for some reason, anyway. So moving on. So let's get to the first match of Saturday morning at 7 a.m. And that was this guy's team.
And the Bees.
The
and
Wolves
the bees
and the Bees.
Stung. The Bees stung the Wolves. But look, there has never been a match that I have watched and been more disappointed about the opposite team rather than my own team. The amount of time Brentford wasted, it was ridiculous. So 10 minutes after the half, we're at minute 53, and Raya has to change his gloves. Every single time the Wolves had a little bit of momentum, there's a Brentford player on the ground. There's a Brentford player doing this. There's a very long substitution. There was so much time wasted in that match. I could be angry for fucking ever.
Mark,
but I already am.
Mark.
Because the Wolves can't score. This was our worst fucking game of the year.
Mark.
You put a high press on us, you're going to shut down our attack because that's what's happened this week and the previous week, even though we beat Watford.
Mark.
And
I know you're gonna harp on this one fact that I'm going to say, but I'm not even gonna mention. I'm not even talking about this thing, but the David Luiz red card. Let's let that go. You guys, all of a sudden, were kicking the ball out, tying your shoes. You guys do the same thing.
You
did the same.
That
me,
didn't happen that last week.
Brentford's
that happened
performance
way long time ago. Completely different lineup, completely different manager, completely different season.
But Brentford did exactly what you guys did in that same situation.
They did it for 30 minutes. We did it for 12.
And you know what? They won the match. A lesser team with lesser players won the match.
No. I said, what did I say after the first game of the season against Arsenal? I said Brentford plays really good defense. In all of the points they've scored this year, they have clean sheets. They're a good squad.
Okay.
They're a good squad, and I'll concede that. But there was a lot of
Your squad is better.
Our squad is not better.
Your squad is better.
We were proven that they were the better team. Although that second goal was garbage because it was a handball that glances off the arm and changes. Now, is that not like the definition of a handball rule? If the handball influences the ball?
I don't know. What do you guys in the audience think?
What does
about
Naji think? I've ranted for fucking 5 minutes already.
No, I am worried about Wolves right now. I am really worried because they played amazing games at the beginning of the season. They were not getting the results. They couldn't score goals. Adama Traore can't finish. And now you're starting to lose these games, and you didn't play well that last game. So I am a little bit worried.
No, this was the one game of the year that I can say that we didn't play well, but I don't think that's indicative of our season. I don't think it's something to be worried about. I do think it is time, 5 matches in. I do think it's time for Bruno to kind of start twiddling some knobs and maybe giving some other players, now that the team is relatively relatively happy or rather relatively healthy, you know, maybe I don't know. You know, 2 seasons ago it worked really well to have Traore coming off the bench. Maybe it's time to bring him off the bench and have him play with that intensity in the last 40 minutes of a match or so, 30 minutes of a match.
Last week, I was just saying that everything goes through Traore when you guys move.
Didn't on Saturday.
You know,
go through him on Saturday.
But I've always said Traore is way more dangerous when you bring him on when tired legs are on there. With tired legs, bring on Traore at like 70th minute. Final thoughts: Wolves Brentford.
Yeah, Roman Saiz made he doesn't do mistakes. He plays always the perfect game. That was a big mistake on the Brentford goal too. You know.
Yeah, right in front of the ref too.
Yeah, but let's see how it goes. You know, you need to start fresh right now. You need to score goals. Jimenez need to get going. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, he threw his headband because he was frustrated. I think he was frustrated with the headband. Yeah, I don't think he likes the fact that he can't feel the contact.
It makes him conscious. It makes him conscious.
Well, it keeps him conscious.
That too.
But I would say my prediction for next week against Southampton that he eschews, if you will, the headband. Unless the league makes him wear it or the medical staff makes him wear it, I think he's done with the headband.
Yeah. Me too.
This is how bad the Wolves are right now. This is our last minute talking point.
I agree. You guys got to score goals. This was supposed to be if you missed that, go back and watch Happy Hour. But yeah, I thought this was supposed to be the beginning, or last week was the beginning of a bunch of clean sheets for you guys.
Yeah.
So many Wolves defenders were purchased by fantasy managers.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, man, I just not like last year aside against Arsenal, 15, whatever. The time wasting was ridiculous by Brentford.
It sucks when you're on the other side of it, but
the goalie changing his gloves 10 minutes after the half? Man. No, it doesn't.
It does happen.
No, that's an equipment change. You do that at halftime.
No, it happens all the time. But there was time added on afterwards.
3 minutes.
There you go. And that's what they thought.
3 minutes of stoppage time was all they got for all that rolling and writhing on the pitch by them bees. We'll get you next time, boys.
All right, so let's move on to the next match. Oh, and Brentford got a red card, and you still couldn't do anything. And you guys,
I know that was terrible.
I don't know how it was legal, but you guys made like seven substitutions.
We didn't make that many.
7 strikers came on.
We made our substitutions.
I think at one point,
and they were all like front.
At one point, they brought the center back out, and I think Connor Cody was taken off for an actual Wolf, and it still didn't work. So I don't know. It was crazy. So moving on, Norwich, Watford, battle of the.
We have 2 teams that have yo-yoed together for so long in and out of the league, and they're going to break up. They're going to split. They're going to break up because Watford is a little bit better.
But I
Norwich.
don't think they're that good. I mean, I don't think they're good enough.
I think they're good enough to stay up.
You don't think there's 3 teams better than them?
Of course. Burnley is worse.
I don't think Burnley is worse. It's too early in the season. But
I don't think Norwich is coming. I don't think Watford is going down. They have some good quality.
Yeah, I don't see Watford going down either.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and this is all we're really going to deal with this one. Tell me, which team goes down? If one goes down and one stays, which one goes, which one stays? Who has a better chance of turning it around in the second half of the season?
Watford is staying up.
Watford staying
up? You don't think
up?
there's any hope?
No.
Oh, what was that stat you told me about? Farquhar.
Yeah.
Daniel Farquhar.
Daniel Farquhar, whatever. Daniel Fark, excuse me.
Farkenel.
Fark. Look, you know what I read today? That he has lost 15 consecutive Premier League matches. 15 consecutive. And that's over 3 years and 2 actual seasons within the Premier League. They were in the championship last year. We all know that.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, it's terrible.
Look at that. Norwich down. Norwich down.
Norwich is going
and
down.
Bobby Two Scoops says probably.
I don't think so.
Watford
I
too.
think this is a squad that Emmanuel Dennis, his goal was money, but even better was his post-match celebration, a back handspring with a
goal.
His post-goal celebration
Kept
was,
flipping.
and he did this.
Hey, Nick,
back
I got to
flip.
jump off, okay?
He did this back handspring
Right.
and a flip. That was amazing. Does Nigeria have a national gymnastic team? Because if they do, they should sign him up for the floor exercise. It was as good as his goal.
Who does he play for?
He plays for Watford.
What international?
He's a Nigerian.
Nigerian? Did you know Nigeria makes the second most films in the world?
They're all. I don't even.
No, it's called Nollywood.
Okay.
I don't know. It was a fucking trivia question the other day.
That's amazing.
Anyway, moving on. We're looking at my club, Big Bad Arsenal, beating up on those giants. Mr. Dyche's Burnley team.
The way you kept the ball away from Burnley was amazing. I mean, Burnley, they had 10% possession.
The way we kept the
my
ball away
God.
from ourselves was amazing. Every time here's the thing, and if you guys want to hear me go really far in depth on Arsenal, I will be on the Arsenal Fan Circles podcast later tonight at 8:40 tonight for a few hours. But Arsenal, a 1-0 win, I am happy. I'm happy. I was happy with the 1-0 at Norwich, as I was telling you. Should it have been a 4-5? Yeah, sure. But
Sure.
anything
is possible.
We learn more from the 1-0 win, and we're more of a battle-hardened team
Right.
from it. This same exact thing, the goal comes from a tremendous free kick, up and over
Yeah,
these
no, it was
6'5"
great. It was great.
guys. So the goal was fantastic. Should we have gotten more goals? Yes. Was our passing crap? Yes. But the grit, the determination, the fight, and I gotta tell you, Gabriel in the back is a beast. Look at it. Every match he has played with us, we have a clean sheet and a win. No, or a win.
Whatever your dialogue wants,
something like
whatever it's going to be. All I got to do is say,
No, we have some muscle in the back.
you guys,
finally.
look, you guys are having the team that Arteta has always wanted, and I hope it works out. But I got to say this. You Arsenal fans can never complain about VAR ever again, because
Out of your
VAR
out of your mind.
did not award a penalty to Burnley. And if there was no VAR and it was just seen in real time, not only would you guys have Burnley would have been awarded a penalty, but Ramsdale would have been given a red card.
No,
'Cause
that's
yes,
double
that-
trouble, double elimination, or double whatever, double jeopardy.
Whatever.
But
you guys can never complain about
No,
VAR again,
Mark,
because
you-
VAR saved your fucking asses
you are
in that
100% wrong on that.
match. Well, then you are
If-
100%
if there-
wrong about that.
If there was no VAR, it would have been the wrong decision, because live it looked like he didn't get the ball. It looked like Ramsdale didn't get the ball.
So
Live,
then that
it looked
would
like
have
it.
been
So it would have been
a
a penalty.
penalty.
Exactly.
and
But
Ramsdale would have
that's why
gotten a
we
red card.
That's why we have VAR. Is to,
So-
because those decisions
Right. Therefore,
on
as an
the
Arsenal
pitch
fan,
are wrong.
you can never complain about VAR
Why?
because it
Because-
saved your
because-
fucking ass.
Because VAR made the correct decision.
I'm just saying, because of VAR, you guys got the decision. If there was no VAR and it was
I
real
can
time,
complain about
penalty,
VAR.
never
I can
again.
complain about VAR if it's
Never
wrong.
again.
I
Never
can complain
again.
about VAR if it's
Never
wrong.
again. Give him.
You're out of your mind.
Y'all tell
No,
him
no,
he
no.
can't complain about VAR anymore because it saved his ass
Not at
on
all.
Saturday.
Not at all.
Naji,
Didn't
I really don't want to talk about the penalty or not. It's debatable. I really want to talk about consistency for Arsenal, and I really want to talk about the confidence right now that is growing. You're telling me that Arsenal can go to Spurs next weekend and win the game, and go on top of Spurs after winning the
After
first
them
3
being
games
on
of the
top and
season.
us being on bottom.
If y'all
yes.
can't do it, y'all have trouble because
You know-
Spurs are in trouble right
No,
now.
but listen, but the North London derby, as bad as Tottenham has ever been, and as bad as Arsenal has ever been, and good, it's like the Saints Falcons or
right.
or-
Yeah, yeah,
or,
no,
you
no,
know,
no, you get
like,
up for it.
they get up for it.
It's
So
it's at
like,
the Emirates, right?
like I see
It is,
I see
it
a
is.
hard fought 0-0.
Oh, I
draw. Like,
I
that's-
don't. I honestly, Spurs are in a really bad spot right
But
now, and
it's not like we're in a great
can
spot. you know?
how does one send an Amber Alert? Because I'm looking for Harry Kane.
Oh.
I ain't seen him this season.
Shh, let's not put that out until next week. Let's put that out next week after Arsenal play.
And I like what Arteta is trying
Arsenal.
to change a little bit. And like you said, he got all the players healthy right now.
Yeah.
That's the best top 4 he has. Gabriel and
Look at
Ben
that, Bobby.
White.
Ramsdale won the ball.
You're wrong. You didn't even watch the match.
VAR looked at it and said, "Oh shit, you know what? You're wrong. He got the
Oh
bar.
shit! He
got
didn't
the
even
ball."
get the ball.
Are you? So this is you saying that VAR doesn't work.
No, I'm just saying
You're
you
saying
can't
VAR
complain
was
about
wrong.
VAR anymore.
VAR was wrong.
Moving on.
Was VAR wrong?
VAR was not wrong because VAR is indisputable.
No, it's absolutely disputable.
It
That's
is
what I'm saying.
indisputable.
That's where we are.
Real
disputing.
time. Ramsdale gets a card and it's a penalty, and that's at least a draw for Burnley.
But that is why.
But then
VAR
you're also
exists.
short. You're also short a man, so you
And-
probably lose that match.
And offsides.
But
aren't
Naji's
called.
right. Naji's right. Let's not talk about what
Well,
should have been,
I
could have
wanna-
been, whatever
You're
been.
out of
I want to
it.
add
I
one
am
more
not.
thing. Arsenal won 1-0 against Norwich. They won 1-0 now against Burnley. Do you know how Thomas Tuchel reign at Chelsea started?
1-0.
No,
1-0.
they drew 0-0.
0-0.
They drew 0-0 against Wolves. That was his
Yep.
first game. And he's like, man, let me focus on defense. Let's get a draw, because Chelsea were leaking goals like crazy. And then they won 2-0 against Barnsley. I think it was in the FA Cup. And then they beat Newcastle 1-0. And there you
Shits
go,
are
the
terrible.
1-0, the 2-0s, the 1-0s, the 2-0s. And then you build confidence in your defense. And this is very important for Arsenal. I'm not saying they're going to be in the top 4 or anything, but they're starting to build on, they're starting to get points. 3 points after 3 points. That adds
Yeah.
on,
Yeah. And what's once again, these hard fought wins are what I'm looking for. A 4-0 win against Norwich, we would have come in like a bunch of entitled rich kids to the Burnley match and got bowled over. And as opposed to going, guys, we stuck together and we fought, and a hard 1-0 win against Norwich, we're gonna have to do it again. And we did. And yes, if Odegaard isn't brilliant, and if Ramsdale isn't as good as he was, we either draw or lose that game because no goal came from anywhere else.
Yeah.
But you have to say there was something up with that match, because Burnley wasn't as Burnley as they were against Leeds.
You know,
they weren't
I'll
as
agree
aggressive.
with you.
They didn't. I thought a red card was coming.
I would
for
definitely
sure.
agree with you. I think that 1, 2, 3, 1. I think Burnley was as aggressive as they normally are. I think with that, I say Arsenal stood up to it. I actually enjoyed, Arsenal wasn't going to back down from the physicality that I've seen other teams back down from. 2, the refs were not whoever the ref was for that match, whoever the on-field ref wasn't having it.
No.
He was not having it. So
Maybe
he
that's
was
why they pulled back a little bit.
he was quick
Yeah.
with a couple of cards. He wanted to keep control of the match, and he did. So Burnley didn't get to do what they did against Leeds, where they were just knocking people around. They didn't get to do what they did at Everton, knocking people around. And like I said, my cap off to Arsenal for they really did stand up to that physicality, and I didn't think they would.
All right, guys, we have to move on. We got to keep burning through this. So we're going to do a quick stint on Man City, Southampton. Pep Guardiola getting in trouble, or not in trouble, getting in getting in sort of concerning himself more with the fans, because the fans, like, they're not selling out the Etihad. They're getting a little complacent with winning. I don't know about all that. And then they go and draw at home to a bad Southampton team. What do you guys think about? Should we read anything into this?
Naji, you want to start?
No, I mean, sometimes City starts the season slow. You know,
Yeah.
you
Last
just need
season.
yeah, they just need to give credit to Southampton. They played a really good game. Of course, Man City were dominant and they have few chances here and there, but they couldn't score, and that's because maybe they did not get that striker that they needed. You know, it's gonna be a problem for Man City all year, and then they have a big test against Chelsea next weekend.
Yeah.
Let's see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything?
Yeah, you know, I don't see how one shot on goal that happened in the 90th plus minute for City is outplaying Southampton. Southampton has drawn the last 4 out of 5 games of the season. We played 5; they've had 4 draws, so they're proving to be a tough squad to beat. You know, I know they offloaded some incredible players, but you know, this is a match that at the end of the year, if City doesn't win the title and they're in you know, they're down by like a point, 2 points, 3 points, this is a match that people are going to point to and go, you drew 0-0 against Southampton.
And
That's
lost
why
to Tottenham, who's in the
and
relegation
that's why
zone.
you didn't win the
But-
league.
I really don't want anybody to say that that Man City is not gonna challenge or they're not that good. They are
No, they are.
That's not what I'm
He's
saying.
saying
I
I'm
know.
saying is
if
those
they
2
lose by 1
points,
point.
if those 2 drop points
Yeah.
at home, is points that you can look to
Yeah,
and go, you know, it was like when I think it last season, Tottenham was playing Southampton. They were up 3-0
Mhm.
and they drew the game. It was a
Yeah.
3-3 draw. Those were points that Tottenham lost and would have moved them up maybe into 5th or 4th position last year.
Yep.
These are points that City is going to look back on if they don't win it. They're going to look back
Yeah,
on
of
these 2
course.
points.
Okay, guys, we have 3 really, really big matches that I want to talk about. So I'm going to jump ahead to these next 2. Aston Villa, Everton. I expected more out of Everton, but hey, Aston Villa came out guns blazing and looked good. Let me just ask you this. When should Everton start worrying? Because Everton should be fine. Everton are a classic mid-table team. They should always be in the Premier League, but always in the mid-table. Should Everton start worrying? They you know, this is bad. That was a bad 3-0.
No, it's worse than you might think.
But they didn't have Richarlison. They didn't have Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Where is James Rodriguez?
I'm going to put him on the Amber Alert.
They put on Burnley last week.
And the biggest surprise of the day, no Pickford.
James don't know who they're playing next. So and then Benitez didn't include him in his plan from the beginning. You know, it is very tough to win without Richarlison, without Calvert-Lewin. This is like, it's very tough, you know, no matter what. And you knew that Everton was trying to get a draw from this game, but they got rolled over. I mean, I have Aston Villa finishing 6th this season. They got the players to do it. Watkins, Ings, McGinn, El Ghazi, Traore. They have an amazing Buendia. He wasn't even starting today, you know.
And Emi Martinez came back, and Emi Martinez made some stops, made a few saves, kept him in the game.
Actually, Emi didn't have a whole lot to do.
No, but in fantasy he had like he got like the bonus points.
I mean, he got the clean sheet,
but he had bonus points, and for a keeper to get bonus points, it means
got to do something.
He did some shit.
Chelsea were able to beat them 3-0 last weekend, but we didn't say that, oh boy, Chelsea played a fantastic game. Actually, Aston Villa played really well against Chelsea.
Yeah. So do you think this is Aston Villa being okay, here come Aston Villa, or is it what the hell happened to Everton?
Too
No.
many injuries for Everton, man.
It's
Yeah.
what the hell happened to Everton?
No Calvin Lewin, no
tough.
Richarlison,
Richarlison.
no Pickford, no chance.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Not a
It's really
chance,
tough.
you little
Not
Nancy.
a chance, you little Nancy.
Okay, moving on. Maybe the shock of the week was Brighton beating Leicester 2-1.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this question about this. Should Brendan Rodgers, like, is Leicester City and VAR just like, do they have the worst
Yeah.
luck with VAR? Like, they scored
You
like
know,
6
no,
goals that
no.
match.
But I gotta say,
Yes.
Barnes was off on both occasions.
He was,
It
but
was
was he interfering?
bit.
Was he interfering?
That is always
Those
something.
are-
That
those
is
are-
always something that I don't quite see it, but it obviously is something that you have to see from a certain angle to say that yes, you interfered with the goalie's sight line, and it's something
It's
that I don't
hard.
quite understand. But the fact remains is that Barnes was called offsides twice, and that is just damn near
on corner.
snake bit.
Now, was it
On
or
set
was
pieces.
Brighton super smart because Barnes is playing that knowing that there's usually a man on the post?
Actually, what was really
And
smart was
pulled him.
Mupai pulling the arm.
Mape, yeah.
Mape, not
Like,
Mupai.
and VAR doesn't
Mape
call that.
pulling the arm on Vestergaard, which forces his arm up because that's just leverage.
I have to agree. Like, I was arguing with Kantak about this, going, dude, his arm's in the air. His arm's in the air.
But
And then he sends me the video of it, and I was like,
yeah,
interesting.
it's
How
unfortunate.
How did
but
VAR not see that?
It's
When anytime Leicester does anything, they're like, hold on, let me look,
Yeah.
let me look. But guys, did you know Leicester City and Arsenal are tied? Like, we're even on our win draw loss record.
So
Imagine that.
So
Imagine
first of all, Leicester City last year against Chelsea FA Cup final, I was watching with you guys on the Stoop. There was a foul, a huge foul on a Chelsea player before Tielemans scored. He scored the goal. VAR didn't go. We are all like, oh, is VAR gonna check that?
Yeah,
Foul?
they should go back. They should go
Yeah,
back, and they
didn't. Anyway, so they're not getting anything, with VAR or anything. They deserve everything. But anyway,
But guys, Brighton are top 4.
yeah,
Right
there is
there,
always
yeah.
there is
Yeah.
always a team in the Premier League that starts that way. Like you don't,
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that said, I talked about Brentford being in the weekend watch list when they played against Everton, and that was complete opposite of what happened this weekend. I think Everton won 3-0. But they beat Leicester City, and they beat them pretty good, although the score by Vardy was pretty amazing. I know it's early, game 5 right now, but could it be that Brighton is the West Ham this season? This season's West Ham?
No, I don't see it that way. Number one,
Did
Again,
anyone
think
see him
so.
beat Leicester?
I don't think so.
That's a quality win.
That's a
yeah,
quality
yeah,
win.
but we just talked about how one of their goals really shouldn't have counted,
guys, I've told you from
and
the
then
beginning.
all these other ones were like half VAR decisions. Like if the VAR decision that happened on Harvey Barnes happened for Arsenal, then you could tell me that I could never complain about VAR, because that's a 50-50. That's like, are they going to call it or not? The one you chose was like, no, he clearly got the ball first. No, he did. VAR looked at it and said yes.
Hey, Leicester City, they dropped a little bit from last year. First of all, we spoke defensively. At the beginning of the season, they had Johnny Evans out. They had Fofana got injured for the whole year. They're still.
Yeah, they brought in
Naji,
Vestergaard.
we're running out of time to talk about Chelsea. I'm just letting you know. So wrap this up.
And then Maddison, since the speculation about him going to Arsenal and going to a big club and his contract,
He's been
Maddison,
terrible.
He's been
terrible.
invisible. He's another one to look for on the milk carton.
That's what I'm saying. And then Tielemans, his head now is not, in the right place.
I thought-
exactly.
I thought
He thinks
Tillman
he's
had a
too
pretty.
good.
I thought he had a pretty good game.
Yeah, but
I thought he
drank
had a
his
pretty
own
good game.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, the big game. All the big
He
teams. need it.
won. He won the. He beat Chelsea for the FA Cup with his one goal. and now he's the best.
Madrid
I
is
think he
looking
drank
for
his
him.
Kool-Aid.
Man United wants him. There's a lot of teams that are looking
okay.
at Tielemans, you know. So
He's not even the best midfielder in Leicester, in
Right.
Leicestershire. Okay, moving on. Naji, that's enough about that. What is the match that I wanted to get to?
Or Liverpool. And...
No. The one that I want to talk about right now is West Ham, Man United. West Ham, Man United. Fun match.
Awesome match.
I just want to ask you guys, wasn't it the most Ronaldo thing in the world for such a beautiful cross from Bruno Fernandes? And he goes, I'm just going to bounce this off of the keeper so Bruno doesn't get the assist.
I don't think that was
He bounced it off
but...
the keeper and then flicks it in. You know Ronaldo could have flicked it to the side. But he's like, oh, he's doing this. He's like a backboard. Here you go. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the only one who gets points. Bruno gets nothing.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about how Ronaldo was his
Was
begging
funky.
for a penalty on like 2 or 3 opportunities where he's just like, come on, Ronaldo, he fouled me, and even if he didn't, give it to me.
Guys, I don't
Yeah,
want to argue.
exactly.
I don't want to argue, but there were 2 penalty shouts, right, for Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to, what do you think or whatever. I think one of them was a penalty. The second one was. The first one wasn't anywhere near a penalty.
I think there were 3, and it was the last
3
one
opportunities.
that I would have said,
Yeah.
all right, the Kurt Zuma one.
The Kurt Zuma was a
Zuma
penalty.
one.
It
Right.
was a
Yeah,
penalty.
I would say it was, but at that point, Ronaldo has fallen. It's like a Alicia Keys song.
Yeah, and then
I keep on falling
and then-
in and out of the box.
another question: do you think that Mark Noble is the player that should have taken that penalty in the 95th
Oh,
minute?
this was the
Nope.
biggest
Nope.
managerial flub that I can point out in a to have, you're getting the penalty. Mark Noble hasn't seen a sniff of the pitch, and you just go ahead, take it.
Listen,
And it was
was
it
hearing
okay?
a
So
lot of
was it
this.
terrible or was it a great save?
It was a save.
Was it a
What
great
did
save?
Mark
And
Noble do wrong? What did Mark Noble do wrong?
He didn't do anything wrong. It was
That's what I'm
Moyes
saying.
that did it wrong. You don't have him take the shot. You don't have him
Mark
take the
Noble
penalty.
hasn't missed a penalty in 2 years, 3
And he
years.
hadn't been on the pitch but for 30 seconds.
But it's Mark Noble.
okay,
it's
so you're
not a
willing
young
to
kid.
if you're
It's
willing
not a
to
young kid.
live and die by Mark Noble?
Yeah. If you're West Ham, you live and die by Mark Noble. Yes, because he's
This is his
your
last
lifeblood.
season.
Guys,
You know.
I don't think it's the right decision. I don't
Right.
think it was the right decision for.
I
But
don't-
had he made it, David Moyes would have been like, "Look at him! He gave it to Noble
Right,
and Mark Noble."
right,
So
right,
I
right.
think this debating it. I agree with BX Lanzini. He's your number 10, even though he doesn't ever start and hardly ever plays. But he's your number 10. He was the savior against Tottenham last year or the year before.
I
whatever.
think there's any number of people that could have taken
I think
that.
Bowen was off the pitch, but Fornals
He came-
could have
no,
taken
Bowen
it.
came off for-
Bowen
came off for
him.
Noble.
Bowen could have taken it.
look,
Listen, had he skyrocketed it, okay. Had he dribbled it straight
Right.
towards De Gea,
I
okay.
agree.
De Gea went the right way.
It was a great save.
And
It was
and
a
it's
great
also
save.
like De Gea does his research. They do their research. Look, these are the guys who are going to take the penalty. He kicks it this way. This guy kicks it this way. This guy kicks it this way. So Moyes is going, he's not ready for this. Mark, get your ass in there. So to me, I thought it was dope, and I was ready for it.
I didn't like
I mean,
the
the
call
guy scored-
whatsoever.
And De Gea couldn't. He missed 11 saves against Sevilla or Villarreal.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Mark Noble
Sucks.
scored.
To me, it just sucks more than anything.
Mark Noble scored 26 penalties for West Ham. You know, like I don't. Yeah. So
He's a
and the
good
second,
penalty taker.
The second penalty taker was Declan Rice. He only scored 2.
And
So
Bobby,
you know,
listen.
Yeah, and Mark Noble is like 500 years old and has been playing forever. And
It
and,
was-
And he dresses.
it was-
He dresses.
and
he's
he-
on
no,
it,
no, no, no.
he's on it.
I agree with all of that.
Listen, it
You know,
wasn't the
but to
best
compare
penalty shot.
compare the statistics and say this guy has done these many penalty scores and this guy has only done this many, is immaterial because how long the one players played and how little the other players played. You know what I liked about this match?
J-Links.
Oh, that was a pretty goal.
It was brilliant.
And
I was so happy it wasn't Ronaldo.
To win the match and cue Roy Orbison, because that goal left David Moyes crying over Jesse.
No, look, if they wanted him, they would have got him. Let's stop with the nonsense.
Ollie said no.
I disagree.
Ollie said no.
I say that
Ollie doesn't know what he's
doing. They were like, no, you're not going there. You know
Ollie
what?
doesn't know what he's doing.
You know what, sir? You have been busting Ollie's chops or Ollie's chops for the last couple of weeks. Can we give him some credit for his substitutions in this match?
Give me a minute.
Because his substitutions, especially bringing Lingard in at like the 78th minute, and 13 minutes later he scores?
Yeah.
Come on, that's some good adjustments. Ollie deserves some fucking credit for this.
You know what Ollie did too? He played Dan James against Leeds United in a game where he should have started Lingard if he wanted.
Bobby, I agree with you. It wasn't the best penalty, and it was savable height. De Gea had to go the right way, and he went the right way. So
look, you could tell when it's a good penalty or a bad one. It was a good penalty. I mean, he didn't do like a Jorginho and missed it,
or a Sergio Aguero.
Exactly.
Come on. Anyway,
doing the silly little boop, boop.
I gotta say, Jesse Lingard, that was quality, and it was also quality that he went.
Oh, total class. Total class.
He didn't cheer against West Ham.
He kept the celebration to an absolute minimum. It was a class moment.
In that.
Absolute class moment.
Imagine the emotion. You've just been subbed on.
Yeah.
You make a great dribble in the box. You create space and you curl one in for the win.
It was a good goal.
And he goes, calm down, calm down. So class for that. That.
You want to be on the show? Come on, stand between us.
We gotta get a.
You watch soccer?
Hey, how's it going?
Looks like a Chelsea fan to me.
He's not a Chelsea fan. Stop it. It's a PE shirt, okay? So, guys, let's get to the last two matches of the game of the week. And the reason I kept these two for the last one, because one of them was the last one. But there's a stat line up there of, if you look at Liverpool and Chelsea, every single week they have had the exact same score.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even the week they played each other.
Yeah.
A 1-1 draw. But I mean, like 3-0, 3-0.
Yeah.
And Rudiger was like, "Oh crap, we're gonna go behind them. And he charges up, and even Conte, like freaking, oh man, that was the Ronalds. Friday.
Ronald
guys.
McSalla.
Guys, you gotta find Friday. So instead of completely analyzing these matches, because they were pretty out and out, downright wins, Crystal Palace is not as bad as a 3-0 loss says, and Tottenham are not as bad as a 3-0 loss says. What it says to me are Chelsea and Liverpool at this moment healthy. Liverpool healthy, because we've already said Liverpool depth is tough. Liverpool and Chelsea are fucking scary. They're fucking scary right now.
Yeah.
I talk a lot of shit, and I'm always like, Arsenal can beat anybody. We don't stand a chance against either one of those clubs. Like, we are a decade away from being where they are. Like,
well, I wouldn't say that far, but
well, and in 2 years,
in 2 years,
Chelsea
2 years,
could
Liverpool
be
is not going to be.
In 2 years, Chelsea could be crap because everybody leaves and they fire everybody. But I agree right here with Bobby Two Scoops again. Tuchel is absolutely a fantastic manager. Those two managers are my favorite managers.
He is not afraid to make a change. You know, last year, you remember when we guys spoke, would you have
switched the goalkeeper in a final?
Yeah, I mean, you guys remember last year when he subbed Hudson-Odoi? He subbed Hudson-Odoi in the 38th minute.
Yeah, Margaret Cho.
We were
I remember that.
And then this game, he took Mason Mount out. He didn't have a bad game, Mason Mount, but he wanted something different. He doesn't care. He brought Kante in. He is tactically brilliant. Like whatever he does right now,
Wait a
it's
minute.
turning into
Which
goal.
match are we talking about?
Chelsea.
Are we talking about the Chelsea match, or are we talking about the Liverpool match? I'm
No, we're
lost.
talking about Tuchel.
Doesn't matter.
We're talking about Tuchel. You know what he's doing, what he's capable to do. I mean, and then he as in his press conference in January, he said we're gonna build a team that it is very difficult to play against. I'm serious
And
right
it
now.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Since the beginning,
Look at today. I mean, look at yesterday. They handled Lukaku. They pretty much handled Lukaku as well as you can, and 3 defenders score.
Yeah, I thought if anything, Tottenham did very well was bottling up Lukaku.
And you know what the first thing Tuchel did after the match? Who's the player? Did he go up to Conte? First goal in like 87 years that Conte has scored. Did he go up to Conte and be like, "Great game"? No. You know,
I'd probably
who he
turn
went
it up,
to?
but I would say if I'm Thomas Tuchel and I go up to anybody and say, "Yeah," it would be Kepa, because
That's exactly what he did.
Who thought?
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Naji, when you saw that there was like the last minute scratch of Mendy for Kepa,
I was going
was
crazy.
your throat, was your heart in your throat just a little
I
bit?
started Mendy on one of these daily fantasy things, and then at the last second, I was like, "Wait, what?
Yeah, I was Googling what's going on with Mendy right away.
What's wrong with him?"
You know, Mendy played 50 games for Chelsea. The guy got 29 clean sheets.
Oh, I saw a stat about Chelsea in Thomas Tuchel's reign. They have more clean sheets than goals given than goals against.
Yeah. So,
They have like 14 clean sheets and only 12 goals scored against them.
Right.
you know, and then look,
That's
Chelsea,
stupid.
guys, listen to this. Chelsea are on top of the league. They already played Arsenal, Spurs, and Liverpool in
You
5
guys are
games.
tied for top of the league.
Yo,
You guys aren't top of the league. Come
you
on,
are giving
let's-
Arsenal and Tottenham too much credit. You need to be more excited
I
that you
know.
beat
You-
beat. Who else did you beat?
You beat a Spurs team that is super unhealthy, but that's okay. A win's a win,
Oh,
and it
wait.
was a quality win.
Yeah.
Who else have you beat?
You know,
because
just-
Naji, we need to work on this.
I really thought, like, when I sit down to watch the match, I see Mendy out and Son in. I'm like, this could go a completely different way.
Naji, just from here on
You
out, when
think?
you say we've already beat
You
Arsenal
know?
and Tottenham,
and
change it
there's
to
just,
we've already beat Villa and Crystal Palace, because that's
there's
more
just,
impressive.
There's just these like ridiculous things that happened in that game. Like, for instance, Dele Alli has like 3 inches on Bernardo Silva, or not Thiago Silva.
Dele Alli
Sorry, folks.
is more worried about his hairstyle than the way he plays.
Thiago
But
Silva is
seriously,
becoming Thiago Silva again. It's
that
scary.
header was amazing, and
Ooh.
I don't know. It was like NBA skying over Dele Alli, man. That was amazing.
Okay, guys. So, is there anything more you want to talk about these 2 matches?
Yeah.
Salah is having the
Salah
season.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
Why are we
so
giving
solid.
yellow? Why are we giving yellow cards out for celebrations? This
You
isn't the
can't take
NFL.
your shirt off.
He removed his shirt off. He can't do that. He
So?
should know that.
When
He
you
should know
look
that.
like that,
No, Salah's just doing that because he knows everyone's captaining him, and he's like, "Fuck you guys." -2. Captain me
Hey,
on rough weeks
Hey,
too.
few things. First of all, the honeymoon period for Nuno is over. That's it. No more. They scored.
hey, I said
one-
it at the beginning of the season, and just he was proving me wrong with some really great wins.
Fun facts.
But the injury bugs, it
Fun
happens,
fact.
but it's happening early,
They scored 1 goal from open play. 1 goal from open play in 5 games this season. 1 goal. And a lot of people were saying,
Was that a fun fact?
So fun.
What's so much fun about it?
Fun fact, I got stuck in traffic for 7 hours today.
and everybody was talking about, Chelsea are on the ropes. Tottenham, is playing really well in the first half. I didn't see that. I didn't see them
I thought they played well in the first half.
without any shot on target.
Yeah, but they kept
And
Chelsea out of the net.
Son,
You know?
started.
Son did start, and he had
Son, Kane, Dele Alli. Like,
Kane,
what else do
man.
you
Like
need to
I
fucking
said,
do?
man, I want to put out an Amber Alert for
What else
that guy,
do you need to
man.
do?
He's getting raped in fucking
Okay,
somebody's
Naji,
dungeon.
you have 30 seconds because I have something I want to do for the last 5 minutes.
I'm done with Chelsea. London is blue today.
Okay, let me ask you guys real quick, and Naji, maybe you don't have to answer this, but who would you rather have in your team right now? Your squad, Lukaku or Ronaldo?
Lukaku.
Why?
Yeah, all day.
I think that I see Lukaku as someone who is actively working, and Ronaldo is waiting for the ball.
Yeah.
Whether it ricochets to him, he doesn't work for the ball. Lukaku works for the ball, and that's what I want on my team.
Hold up play.
I want someone that will work for the ball.
Yeah, I mean, top 5 striker in the world right now. You can't say Mbappe,
And
Lewandowski.
Lukaku will do other things. Ronaldo is just waiting for the ball.
Yeah, I think I was most impressed with Lukaku this week because he was trying to score desperately at the end. He was trying to score, but for the majority of the match, he was doing his job, which was be the distraction, hold up play, and feed. And he was feeding people. And Timo Werner should have had 2 at the end there.
Oh my!
And Lukaku should have had 2 assists. But yes, and guys, as much as I hate Tottenham, and you guys know this right here, Jimmy, rest in peace, Jimmy Greaves. He did a lot more for football than just football.
Yeah.
His football was fantastic.
I haven't even been watching that long, and I know about this guy.
Yeah. So, okay, guys, I want to play a quick game of. I wrote a bunch of these. I want to ask you guys. So everybody in the crowd right now, in the audience, all the Stoop crew. Oh, and if you haven't already, hit the like button. It helps. Hit the subscribe. All that shit. It helps. And
go to our website and discuss us and tell us we're wrong.
Exactly. Go to the website and you can talk to us all day long.
We will answer
all night long. So, but for right now, what I want to do is I want to play a game called What Will Happen First? Okay, I'm going to give you 2 things, and you tell me which will happen first. So, excuse me. So everybody in the Stoop crew, all of our audience members, get your typing fingers ready. So what will happen first? Ready? Ronaldo gets a penalty call, or he gets a yellow card for diving.
Ronaldo will get a penalty call.
Will get a penalty.
He will never get called for a dive.
He's never going to get called. He
will
should have got
never.
called for one of those.
You know who should have gotten called for a dive was Sterling.
Oh
my
he
God!
Should get called even when
that
he's
dive
out.
dive was better than Grealish could ever hope for.
He's
Okay,
automatic.
Naji.
Yeah.
A penalty call or a yellow for diving.
Penalty.
I agree. Okay, who will score first? Their first goal first this year, Tyler Roberts or Rodrigo?
Rodrigo's playing more, Tyler
matter.
Roberts is coming off the bench. I think Rodrigo.
I think that's going to change soon. I think we're going to see Tyler Roberts starting and Rodrigo on the bench. So I'm going to go with the guy that I was kind of enamored with last year, Tyler Roberts.
Tyler Roberts, good. I'm leaning towards Tyler Roberts because he comes on and he makes a difference. Like
the
I
only
feel
way
like
I really feel the only way that Rodrigo scores is if he starts in Bamford's position, and either they move Bamford, which I don't see him doing, or they put Bamford on the bench. Because look, neither of them are really doing anything.
I kind of feel bad for Tyler Roberts because he does come on and he tend
hustles.
to add some stuff. He is a little wild and his touches aren't
very,
as good.
very wild.
But
He's
Rodrigo
obviously
has had fucking
inexperienced.
Sitters. He's had sitters that he's missed.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with James about the Rodrigo experiment. I think that's just a very, very bad decision by Leeds.
Who will lose a match first, Chelsea or Liverpool?
Liverpool.
Shut up, Naji.
I can't see anybody scoring against Chelsea. I'm sorry.
You guys have given up 1 goal in 5 games.
Who scored against Liverpool? You guys.
Actually, you guys are right now. You're both You guys are
Look at
both
that,
very,
Bobby
very
says
equal
Chelsea.
that way. Look, man, I was thinking about it today. I was like, Chelsea this year could give your Arsenal Invincibles a run for their money.
I know both of these clubs can,
But
honestly.
I see Liverpool losing
Hey,
first.
I can't wait in October. Liverpool have 2 tough games. I think they play Man United and
They get 2 tough games.
yeah.
No, I mean, these are all going to be. I mean, and then you can't forget when, like, the Invincible season, towards the last 10 matches, every match becomes the hardest game of the season.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
you think the team that's being relegated, like Watford got relegated the year that Liverpool could have gone invincible,
and
they
Watford
beat them,
then
got relegated.
I remember where I was. My wife was shopping for a new dress and needed me to come along with her because that's what we do. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy shit, Watford. And she's like, what's a Watford?
Okay, so next question. So Man United have a long run of going behind and winning.
And yep.
Arsenal have a long run of going behind and losing and not winning.
That is the definition
Which one
of
of those
losing.
will end first? Will Man United go behind and then lose, or will Arsenal go behind and then win? Which will happen first?
Look, it's been happening, like you said, a lot to Man United, and they've been coming back. 29 games unbeaten
they
away
keep it
from
up?
home.
But also after losing, after being behind.
Yeah.
United,
what I'm
United
asking.
scores a lot of points from being in a losing position and then coming out. This last game is obviously no different.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a pass on that question because that's just a little too. I'm not even sure I can wrap my head around it.
I would say it's got to be Man United losing. Like,
yeah, sure,
Which is
because
gonna happen
everyone
because
has
it's harder to do.
to have
Tough
be in a winning position and give up points and be in a losing position and gain points. It's a little tough for me to fucking figure out which is the which. I'm the witch.
Okay.
The wicked witch.
All right. For Newcastle, which will happen first? Alan Saint-Maximin leaves, or Mr. Bruce gets the boot?
Oh, definitely Bruce leaving. Look, I don't see Saint-Maximin leaving Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Traore could have left Wolves long time ago then. Everybody
but if
wanted
Newcastle
him.
get relegated.
If they're relegated, for sure he's gonna go somewhere. But I don't see him like going to another Premier League team because he's doing great right now. Look at Traore. It's the same thing for me.
I love it, John.
I
you say Bruce? I would say Alan Saint-Maximin. I feel like Bruce is ingrained.
I do think that the fan base has a big love for Bruce. I think that the amount of money that they would be offered for Saint-Maximin,
they can't say no.
They can't say no, and they're gonna get 50, 60
in
plus
in December.
In December, and you have you have to answer to that. You have to be able to say, this is we can do so much with this, and it's a talent that's really hard to replace. But isn't that the same for every player that you would be offered 50, 60, 70, 80? These are irreplaceable players, but they can buy an awful lot.
Mr. Tom says Alan Saint-Maximin will leave first.
I'm going to agree with Mr. Tom.
Yeah. Okay, next one, guys. We got to run through these. Now we're getting to some Wolves question. Will Wolves crack the top 10 first, or will Brighton fall out of the top 10?
I see
during this season, because they're both going to be
Wolves will not.
I feel like Wolves will finish in the top 10 and Brighton
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Nope. I don't know.
You think
Brighton will stay within the top 10 and Wolves won't make the top 10.
Oh, so neither will happen. Neither will happen.
Yeah.
Wolves cracking the top 10 or Brighton?
Brighton will drop out of the top 10 first. Look, I have a lot of love for Brighton, and like I said, they were my match of the week. I wanted to watch them when they played Everton 2 weeks ago. They didn't get that when they got shut out. They beat Leicester. You know, they're a good squad. I don't think they're good enough to stay in the top 10, but I do think that they're good enough to they're a team. I think Brighton is turning into a team. When you see them as a fan, you see them on your schedule, you're like, shit, we got Brighton, you know? And I think that's something to be respected if you finish 11th, 12th, 13th. I just think that there are so many teams that are, I mean, they're just too good to ignore to think that Brighton is going to do it. I do think it's time for Brighton to be good. I don't think it's time to say that they're top 10 material.
Yeah.
So Brighton dropping out of the top 10 before Wolves crack the top 10.
All right. Who will get their first goal first? Raul Jimenez or Harry Kane?
Raul Jimenez because he wants to be there. Harry Kane doesn't want to be at Spurs anymore, and it shows in his play. He's kind of dogging it. He's like the Aaron Rodgers of the Premier League, if y'all understand that reference.
I'm not saying that Spurs are going to beat Arsenal in the next game.
Mr. Tom.
I don't see that. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're gonna beat Arsenal, but I see Kane scoring against Arsenal.
Yeah, he usually does.
He's just.
But I see Jimenez should have scored already.
He should have had that header against Brentford, man, he was pissed about that headband. He fucking ripped it off.
Okay, guys. 2 more questions. Okay. Will Xhaka get another red card, or will anyone from Burnley get a red card? Which one is going to happen first?
I'm
hoping it's Burnley, even though we've already played them.
I'm going to go with Burnley because Xhaka plays midfield, and you got the Lukanga, the new guy, and Partey. They're getting healthy, so it's going to be a while before Xhaka is going to be able to crack the team.
Arsenal fans
and I also think that, like, not only is there going to be the finishing out the suspension, but I think Arteta's just going to sit on him for a little while. Because y'all signed Xhaka because you found yourself suddenly thin in the midfield.
Oh, but yeah,
you guys didn't want to keep him, but you had to.
Question: Is Xhaka back against Spurs?
Nope.
Okay.
No, he still has 2 more games for suspension. 2 more weeks suspended.
All right. Okay, last question, and then we're going to go. Who will be back on the stoop first on the show? Jonah Brentford or Spursy Chris?
Huh. You know what? I would like to... Jonah, if you're watching... We'd love to have you come back, and because you guys are doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys are this year's Leeds, and I hate to say that, but you guys are doing well. You're surprising a lot of us. Come back on our show. Get in touch with Lolo. Come on the show. We'd love to hear from you. Chris from Spurs. I mean, next week is the North London Derby. We might hear from Spursy Chris. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to go with Spursy Chris.
Yeah,
that's my shout out. But I would love to see Jonah on the show.
Naji?
Yeah, we will see Spursy Chris this week. We will see it. Maybe happy hour somewhere, he will be here.
Yeah, we should. Well, all right, guys, this has been great recap of the week. We will see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow is fantasy football. Fantasy week, fantasy day, fantasy show, Lolo's fantasy show. Big shout to Mr. Tom, who was the week's winner with like 108 points or something like that. Ben Ireland was second place with 101. Plus he had a -8. Crazy.
How do you get a -8?
For doing extra transfers.
Shows you what I
So
know.
yeah, crazy week because there were people who were killing it who ended up with like 40 points, and then us who had bad teams who did well this week. So it's going to be crazy. But if you guys are up late, I will be live on the Arsenal Fan Circle at 8:40 tonight. So just in about 2-3 hours. And I'll be on for a while talking Arsenal. So we're going to send out that link. So if you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that, we'll be posting it on there. So, but great show, guys. Nice being in chairs over
I know
here.
it's fun.
Naji, great to see you. Director John, love having you.
Stoop crew.
Beers, sorry you
Peace.
died. He died.
The Bears died.
He died.
We killed it.
Peace for Brooklyn, y'all. We love you. Adios, bitches.